Okay, hey everybody, this is Jose. Just wanted to show something really cool that I did. I started it last night. It's 12:12 here right now in the morning. But I started it the night before last, I guess technically now. And so in a little bit over 24 hours, I've done all of this, and I've never made a good tile entity before. So this is pretty cool. I will show you a few things real quick, and I'm doing a video just because it's easier than live streaming, and it's better than trying to do anything else. So we'll just call this test, Cropomator test. So I've got a mod that I'm working on that's just for fun, kind of to work on improving my Java skills. And I'm calling it CrissCross because it's super confusing, as in, like, when I'm done, it will be. Right now, it's just this one thing. And that one thing is located in decoration blocks. Here it is, the Cropomator. And so it's got a texture here. I don't have a recipe set for it. I'm going to work on that. I don't really care too much about the recipe. But here it is. It's my first tile entity. And it places facing you. I don't have it currently to have a different texture while active. I'll look into that eventually. I'm not terribly concerned about that. It's just, whatever. Because I don't want to have to set a different block for this or different metadata for this each time the block is active versus inactive. So, whatever. So when you open it up, it's got this interface, and basically the way it works is it accepts natural items. So we can do seeds or wheat, or I think it'll do saplings, and let's do pumpkins. And we'll grab some bone meal. It runs on bone meal. I grabbed pumpkin pie. Oh well, good enough. And basically you can use this. Saplings don't work. Okay. That's fine. You know what? I bet I didn't default those. I can add them later. It's not a big deal. But as you can see, it runs kind of slow. But it'll give me from one bone, it'll give me 3 wheat, and or one bone meal, it'll give me 3 wheat. And as you can see, it processes pretty much 1-to-1. Right there, it didn't because it was just a weird point that I put in the item, but it is 1-to-1. So one bone meal, one wheat is perfect. One bone meal will process exactly one item, is basically what I'm trying to say. Um, so part of what makes me so proud of this is, first of all, if we save and quit and go to the mod options, this is where it gets really kind of neat. You can change how long it takes to process. So we can change this to, if we change this to 20, this is the number of ticks. So there's 20 ticks in a second, this will take a second. If I change it to 10, it'll take half a second. If I change it to 5, it'll take a quarter second. So on and so forth. I like it at 150. I feel like if you wanted to really make it easy peasy, you could do 100. Regardless, if you change this number, it also changes the bone meal proportionally. So the bone meal will work out just fine. The other cool thing you can do here is modify the catalyst item. The catalyst item is the bone meal slot. It doesn't have to be bone meal. It's just a catalyst. So let's say we wanted to change this to Minecraft : Diamond. Now it only runs on Diamond. Or if I wanted to change it to run on another mod's items, I could do that. And I think it's Minecraft : Gold Ingot or underscore. I think that's for gold ingot. And then here you can see the full list of items which can be cropomated, as I'm calling it. I don't know why I call it the Cropomator. It's not a special thing. I literally just wanted to practice some because I have a Java test coming up on Monday. So we've got wheat and wheat seeds. And so far, this is the list currently that I have populated. I've got red and brown mushrooms, netherwort, all this sort of stuff. So it's mostly naturals. If there's something you don't like, just delete it. If there's something you want to add it. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to it. I've got some error checking here, and if you want to put in metadata, you certainly can. So you just put it in after the ID. What I do is I go through and read in this entire thing as a string. I break this down into an array of strings which are chopped up into everything between the colons. So this is chopped up into part of my string array, then this is chopped up, the apple part is chopped up into part of a string array, and then if you put in 3, that'll be put into a string array, and then I cast it as an int, or rather parse it as an int later. That's all programming stuff. If you don't care, then don't worry about it. And then you can also change how much it outputs in the Cropomator, regardless of what you change this to, as long as it's less than 64, which I do have a limit on here, it's 0 to 64. As long as it's less than or 64 or less, the Cropomator will not continue to eat up your items as it's full. So now that I've changed that one configuration file, we'll do done. And now that I'm back after a restart, sorry, I know that was a bit abrupt, you'll see this is no longer a valid item. I can't shift click this anymore. I can put it in there by hand, but that's not really going to work. So if I grab gold, then that'll be helpful, and diamond will also be helpful, and I can use either one of them as quote-unquote bone meal. You'll see it's running a little bit quicker as well, because I did change that catalyst speed, I think, to 100. I may not have saved that, I don't remember. But you'll see that it's running off of gold or diamonds. So essentially what you have here, if you wanted, you can go through and change just about anything except for the Cropomator's name. I've got my code very openly written right now so that making an API would be pretty easy if this became a bigger deal, which it never will. But it's very openly written, so if you wanted to remove something from the array of recipe items, you totally could. This is really easy because it's just taking the input item and making an output of the same thing with a higher quantity, that quantity changing according to the config file. But I'm just really proud of how it turned out. Honestly, I don't really know what else to do about it. This is one thing I do want to show you that might bring up a few ideas. Essentially, it's a farm in a box, if you want to think of it that way. So you could do something like if you had a skeleton farm where bone meal is infinitely renewable, then yeah, you've got yourself set. So what you can do here is very, very simple. You could go ahead and do something like this. Load this up with nothing but bone meal. I'm just going to do a really crappy job. And remember, right now, bone meal is not even going to go in because it's not a valid item. So that was totally my bad. I forgot about that. But if we put in gold and diamonds, boom, gold and diamonds will eventually go in. And then if you wanted to just put in wheat, or I still don't know why saplings aren't working, but seeds should. If you have some bizarre need to replicate seeds for whatever reason, you can do seeds if you so desire. I just didn't want to leave a way for this to not work, and then allow output out of the bottom. I haven't tested this with Buildcraft pipes. I'm not implementing this anything differently than a furnace, so hopefully it should work the same way as furnaces do with Buildcraft pipes. I'm trying to keep it kind of simple. So that's that. That's the Cropomator. Pretty happy about it. I have no reason to be. But you know, it's cool anyways. So thank you guys for watching me babble, and let me know if you have any other ideas. It's basically a custom furnace. You can set the input items. The output items are going to be 3 times the, or X times the input. X is configurable. Fuel is configurable. Cook time is configurable. Pretty straightforward. Probably going to try to make the recipe configurable too. Okay guys, have fun, bye.